If you haven't watched my video about how much it'll cost to set up an STR, I cover kind of a holistic view of the total cash out of pocket on your first short-term rental, what you should expect, and some of the ranges there depending on the property that you're going after. As it relates to expenses specific to after closing, a couple of quick thoughts. I'll keep this video shorter so you can go watch the other one. But first and foremost, plan on everything being slower and more expensive than you think it will be. You should always go into any real estate investment and purchase with the understanding that things just happen. Things are slower. Contractors are slower than they say they're going to be, or more expensive than they think the project's going to cost. Everything just somehow finds a way to be a little bit slower and a little bit, and sometimes a lot more expensive than you think it's going to be. So make sure you have a little bit of cushion as you're evaluating your investment. Um, and as always, there are ways to be scrappy and save money, and that's where you bring your uniqueness and your competitive advantages, your strengths into a strategy to make it work, maybe better than someone else, right? But just in general, be prepared for things to sneak up on you. Inevitably, you close on the property, you get it all set up, and something goes out. Some switch flips on the electrical panel, or the HVAC goes out. Something happens. It doesn't always happen, but you should be prepared for those situations and understand that that's part of the deal. And it's totally fine. It doesn't have to be emotional. Just bake some of that cushion into your numbers and be prepared, and you'll have a great experience investing in real estate. As far as expenses that come up after close, a couple of specific things that you want to be prepared for: getting your utilities set up, um, having a security system or smart locks and things put in place, installed, having a hot tub installed if you haven't done that before, if the property doesn't already have a hot tub, getting your permits, getting your software set up. That's going to be a couple $100 in total, probably, between smart pricing, property management. And if you're just doing one property, you can maybe manage it on your own. I encourage everyone to get into Price Labs and Guesty or some sort of management system so that you can grow and scale and just operate things a little bit more efficiently. And then set aside some extra funds for issues that come up with guests as you're getting your first few bookings. You might find out that you forgot to stock the place with spatulas or something, a toaster. I went like a year without having a toaster at one of my properties and didn't realize it. And finally, a guest said, "Hey, I got you a toaster." Um, so things will happen with guests, and I love to use the Venmo strategy of throwing a $20, $30 Venmo and saying, "Hey, I'm covering lunch. So sorry for that issue. I've got my cleaner running the extra propane over because the propane's out on the grill." Stuff like that. Just be prepared for some little bumps and bruises as you're getting up to speed. But after a while, the property will mature, and you'll within those first few months, you'll get a lot of those initial problems and surprises behind you, and then you can start to take that cash flow and either reinvest or set aside emergency reserves, or take that and invest in another property. And it's really exciting stuff. But expect some administrative costs, some last minute furnishing, and hiccups and things like that. But the bulk of the costs will be, as covered in the previous video: the down payment, the closing costs, the big remodel repairs that going in, and then the furnishing and decor if you're buying something unfurnished. After that, it's just little ticky tacky things, but something will always sneak up on you, so just be prepared.